Welcome to Why They Play the Game, a show created to discuss the NBA on and off the court. I am just one of your co-hosts, Michael Eric Owens.
And I'm Ken Hayes.
Hey, my brother, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm hanging in there. You know, we got the holiday just around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm trying to survive, Ken.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make it through the holidays, brother.
Trying to get that last minute shopping done.
Man, listen, man, you got to get it ready. You got to get it ready. But Ken, before we get started, folks, as always, we need for y'all to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification button. We need you to do it. We know you listening to the show. You know what I mean? So go ahead and hit that for us. That way you can get all that content. We can stay on top of our numbers, and we love the communication that's going on we would say offset, right?
Right.
So, Ken, our game of the week. Okay, let's jump right in. Our game of the week, Ja Morant returned. He's back.
From 25 game suspension.
25 game suspension, man. That was a long time, Ken. This 25 games is a long time. It don't seem like it's 25, but man, like he said, he hadn't played in 8 months.
Right. So that's about almost a third of the season.
Yeah, third of the season. And so the Grizzlies were able to defeat the Pelicans 115 to 113. And what was your observations when you were watching the game? First of all, Ja coming back, what did you see? What did you expect?
Well, from Ja, the first half, he only had seven points, but he's trying to, get that feel back, get his legs under him, and I thought he was, patient as far as that's concerned. Second half, kind of got a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Started taking to the rack. We know that he, hit the game buzzer. He was gassed, breathing hard. So, it just shows you, man, when you out that long, it's going to take a time for your win to come back. So, I'm glad to see him back. I'd rather for us to be talking about him playing in this suspension.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like he, let's just say, missed a beat as far as his play was concerned. Very dynamic, exciting player in the league. I think the league is better off him on the court than him off the court. So during his, let's just say, his trip back to the locker room, he said he has receipts, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. We definitely gonna talk about that.
What about you, Mike? What do you think?
Man, well, he played 35 minutes, had 34, like you said, hit the game winner. He was Ja. I mean, game recognized game. And you can dislike a person, but game is game, right? So if you can play, you can be the most hated dude in the world. Once you get between them lines, man, this is what Ja does.
Oh,
he can penetrate. His whole game is getting to the hole, right? But Ken, what struck me kind of strange was the fact that this guy, why in the world would they hold him one-on-one at the end of the game? You know he's gonna get to his spot. He's gonna try to penetrate because he's not gonna shoot a three. Okay,
no,
can't. And I just didn't understand why you did not get the ball out of his hands, because he cooked you the whole second half.
Yeah, you would think that, Mike, but I just think in the last, I'm gonna say 3 minutes of the game, New Orleans just looked confused. Now, let me say this on New Orleans side, Brandon Ingram went to work. Mike,
yes, sir.
Let me put this comment off to the side a little bit, but Brandon Ingram is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. I don't care what anybody say.
Okay.
That boy, he can go to work.
He is underrated.
Right, exactly. The thing that bothers me, his name is not mentioned at all as far as being top 10 in the NBA. in that situation during the summertime with him and Kerr got benched on the USA team, I thought that was just bogus on Kerr's part. But
Yeah, I would agree. Brandon seems to me to be a dude that is like real soft spoken. You know what I mean? Like he's not one of these guys he doesn't have like one of these personalities that just overpower the room. And so
okay,
with a lot of that, you just gonna get ignored, and look where he's playing. He's playing in New Orleans, right? So they don't. If you're not on out in L.A., come on. If you're not in California, you're not in Boston, you're not in Philly. You just not. That's just the political, as you say, Ken, the political games that the NBA plays, and he's not going to get that recognition. But pound for pound, oh, he that
Mike.
dude, man.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Zion
Mm-hmm.
only played 25 minutes,
Well, he had a little foul trouble
but still,
to
Mike,
start with.
25 minutes.
Man, he only had 13 points,
Yeah,
3 rebounds, 4 assists. Nah, that
went
ain't gonna
5
get
for
it done.
12.
They ain't gonna get it done. You a max player.
Right,
Okay,
and
you go ahead, Ken.
the thing about it is that Brandon Ingram was he's like, give me the ball. Let
Mm-hmm.
me, you thinking that Zion would be doing the same thing. But to me, on that milk carton in the last 3 minutes, as far as I'm concerned, I'll say this also, is that McCullough had a great first half.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those last 3 minutes, he missed 2 shots that was
Yeah.
critical.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 I mean, to me, yeah, one would say Memphis, won the game, took the game, but I think the Pelicans kind of gave it away because
yeah,
they were leading most of the game.
I
You
think they were
got
up
to know
by
how to.
23 at one
Yeah,
time.
exactly. You got to close out games. You have to know how to close out games, and you have to know your assignments at the end of the game. Like I say, there is no way he's cooking you the entire second half, and you're gonna go let him go 101. Man,
But
listen,
Mike,
I can name 30 players that would have closed out that game if you went 101 with them.
yeah, I agree. But the thing about it, when they interviewed Coach Green for New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
he said the thing that we have to do is stick together and play together. And that's not what New Orleans did in those I'm gonna say
No, they
last
didn't.
3 to 4 minutes. Ingram was on, but
Well, when you look at New Orleans, you might say McCollum, he's a veteran. You might say Ingram, he's moving toward veteran status. But the other dudes, they young, man. So they don't have that big game experience. And I just think if you look back at that game, and it comes down to if you had a doubled him and took that ball out, because Bang was not playing very well.
he shot
Uh,
he didn't
he
shoot
shot.
that well.
No, he did not, man. I would have made them beat me. Somebody else would have beat me other than Ja. Because
Bang
it's a
was like
storybook. Ken, it's a storybook ending, right? He been
right.
gone 25 games. He come back. He went. You gave no. I'm gonna wreck your storybook ending. No, I'm taking the ball out of your hands. And if you're gonna shoot over two people. So I just thought it was too easy of a bucket. And it just speaks to I think where the Pelicans continue to have problems because you're not going to be anybody if Zion's only giving you 13 points and 4 rebounds.
Right. That's true.
And
I mean foul trouble, yeah, but the thing about it, 25 minutes that night, I'm like, yeah, I would have let you foul out. I'd rather
exa- exactly, man. So I don't. It was a good game, man. It was like you say. It was good to see Ja come back because it was an even game when you really look at the team stats. I mean, they shot the Memphis Grizzlies shot 50% from the field,
right.
Pelicans 47.1. So when you even look at the 3-pointer percentage was better for the Pelicans. They were at 44%, and the
Memphis was
Memphis
like
was 32.
32. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you look at the rebounds, basically Memphis had 42, they had 39. So it was
Pretty
it
even.
was yeah, it was pretty even, man, throughout. It's the points in the paint is what really killed them because Memphis had 62 points in the paint to 50. for the Pelicans. So, but Ken, this is my question to you: will the Pelicans make the play in? I'm not going to even say playoffs. I'm saying play in.
I think the Pelicans will make I'm gonna say the play in. I don't think Memphis will. They too far
I'm
behind.
sorry. I'm sorry, Ken. That's
Oh,
why
you
I
said.
messed up. You're right. That's why I messed. Will Memphis make the play
Ooh,
in?
man, they probably have to win. Let's just say would have to go on the streak like they win 12, 13, 14, 15 games in a row. I just don't
Yeah.
see it. They too far behind. They behind the 8 ball. I don't see them making the play in unless the West really just collapse. But I don't see that happening. So no.
You know, they say so for the rest of the season, for them to get to 500, they have to have a 60% winning percentage. They have to go 34-22 to get to that's just to get to 500. Now, if they want to get to 45 wins, Ken, they have to win at almost a 70% clip. They have to go 38-18.
That's not going to happen. And with Memphis, they're not the greatest 3-point shooting team.
No.
So, it's going to be hard for them to, once they get down or behind in the game, they start shooting a 3-ball. It's just not going to be there for them a lot of times. So I just don't see them making the play in. Like I said, the only way is if the West just collapse and you get, a lot of teams that just don't do well. But I don't really see that happening.
No, I really don't see it happening. And when we look at the standings, the Grizzlies are in 13th place. They 7-19. You know, the Jazz ahead of them, the Warriors, the Suns, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Pelicans. I mean, they not gonna make it. And I was telling, my cousin was, on Facebook, he was going crazy because Ja came back and did his thing, which I'm cool with that.
Right.
I celebrate that. But as I commented on him, they not going to even make the play in. So enjoy what you can see right now because Ja about to get more rest. Because I'm telling you, man, that's too many games to make up.
Yeah,
like you said, Ken, they only won 9 games.
Yeah,
come on. It'll be, stranger things have happened. But like you say, it would have to be a total collapse of the West. And let's see who do they have coming up, which is going to be real interesting. So tonight they play the Pacers, okay, and then they play the Hawks, and then they play the Pelicans again, then the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Kings. So
they got a little rough schedule going on.
They might win 2 of those games,
right? That's what I was
2
or 3.
So now you're at 11. Like, come on, no, it shows you how much damage one person can do to a team game.
Yeah, it does, Mike. The thing that I will say is that it gives them, let's just say, puts them back on the floor. I always say teams are looking at players as an investment. So that brings more people into the arena, more merchandise to be sold. So that's somewhat of I'm gonna call it a lift for Memphis.
Yeah. Again, it was a great game. It was exciting, man, to see Ja come back and put his neck on him. Because that's what he did. I mean, he came back and did what Ja do. He going to the hole, taking off, air flight, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Finger rolling. And it was like, that's that dude. We knew, we loved watching him play. And this is the reason why, because he's an exciting dude, man.
Right, he is.
You know what I mean, man? That boy, man, it's just, he's so gifted, man. He's got so much athleticism, and the way that he can maneuver in the air around these taller guys, man, it's
right. He get to his spots.
Oh man, he get to his spots, man. He can spin on you. He He can hang. He can double clutch. He can, I mean, Ja
Bad boy.
he is. But okay, so let's get to I got receipts.
Oh man, Mike, I think he should be having receipts to his, I'm gonna call him friend, cohort, that taped him with doing what he was doing. That should be his receipts. I'm
Good
like,
point.
man, come on. You
Good point. Good point. That really disappointed me, Ken, to hear him say that, because the question I think that most people are asking is, will Ja mess up his career?
I
That's the
hope not,
question
Mike.
we're not questioning his athleticism, and man, come on, that's on display. Okay, we appreciate all of that. The question is, has he had such a change of attitude and behavior that that's not going to be the thing, right?
Right.
We're going to see 15, 16 years of this boy playing ball, right? That's what we want to know. When I heard that, now I don't know Ja, but what I got to say is, when I heard that, that made me say, man, he ain't learned too much, man. He ain't learned too much, man. Because if you thinking about the past, you know for yourself, Ken, you can't look to the future. You
Right.
talking about you got receipts. And then I heard people say, well, if that's what motivates him, man, listen, that should be a closed chapter in your life, young brother.
Let's move on.
Closed. Move
It,
on, man. This is
it,
different. You're not even concerned about that, man. You are trying to, in my opinion, go out there, play basketball, present yourself in a way that is not detrimental to your
right.
ball club or the league, because, man, everybody want to see you be successful. That stuff you talking about, man, that's some I got receipts, man. Come on, man. Like, so now it's still the gangster thing. It's still like, yeah, I got receipts. I'm coming. Can't really? I just thought that was, I don't know, man.
Diminish
I
his
don't.
performance.
Yeah, it made me really concerned for just for his head is at, man, because I was looking for a different sort of
Response.
yeah, man, a different sort of like vibe, man, coming from him. Like, and keep it moving. Because the reality is, you might not agree, John, with what people said about you, but you gave them the reason to talk.
Right. That's true.
You,
That's a
you,
great
you,
point, Mike.
and some things they said about you, Ja, yeah, they were outlandish. A lot of them wasn't true. Some of them took shots at you, but you gave them a reason to talk, though.
Right.
So, young brother, what you got to do now is don't give them reason to talk about your game. You know what I mean? So, Ken, I was highly disappointed in when I saw that. It just seems familiar.
For me, Mike, I was taken back by it. Man, just move on. Let's show your response by what you do on the court.
By what you did, on the court, right? Let's just, that
Yeah.
that was your response. Like, okay, y'all thought I
Right.
was all messed up. No, take this game winner right here.
Right. And the thing about it is that um, we we just said how difficult it's going to be for Memphis to get into the
Mm,
play-in. Let's uh, get your teammates together. Say, hey, we gonna down the stretch. We're gonna still try to make that playoff and
hmm
keep it moving, Mike. And
Yeah,
the thing about it is that you would think that he would have, which he should have learned from his past mistakes.
yeah,
That you know everybody's going to be like on edge to see when that next shoe is going to drop for him. So I just think that great talent. Um, if I was in his ears, like, hey, let's just move on.
hmm
It had, we
yeah.
all make mistakes. That
That's right.
it's just part of life.
That's right.
And keep it moving, some positive energy, and just play ball and call it a day.
Do what you got to do.
All right.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Like, let that stuff go, brother. But great game. We want
yeah,
to hear from you. What were your thoughts on the game. What was your thoughts on I have receipts? You can share those too. Ken, we got to go here for a minute.
Where we going?
Shaq was talking the other day. Shaquille O'Neal, the dominant Shaq.
Okay.
He said that he didn't say that Stephen Curry was the GOAT, but he said he feels like Steph should be in that GOAT conversation. Like, it is not crazy to have the conversation about Steph because he is the greatest shooter of all time.
Okay.
And
I give him that.
Okay. And Raul Mahmoud, though, I might throw his in, I might throw him in there, but we'll go with that for right now.
All right.
And he's changed the game. You know, he's impacted the game in a way, and that he's a champion. He's had 4 rings and he's been an MVP, and that he should be in that conversation for the greatest of all times. What say you, Ken?
Before I answer your question, Mike, is Steph in your top 10 for all-time greats?
No.
Top 10. Okay. All right.
No.
All right.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Steph is a bad boy.
He is.
Man can shoot it from anywhere. Can take you off the dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Make you work on defense. On the other side, he a defense liability. No, he's not even in the conversation. And I'll say this: out of the 4 championships they won, the last one he got MVP of the finals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was his first one.
That was his first one. And those other 3, he struggled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
You know, right? And which they mention all the time. I think that Steph has had an advantage, especially when Kevin Durant came over to Golden State. Took some pressure off of him. I mean, Durant to be honest with you, he kind of, I won't say saved them, but, you know, gave them that, let's just say, that scoring that going to give you 28, 30 a game, you know, with no effort. So, no, I don't see Steph as in the GOAT conversation. I mean, a great player. You know, he can go down, like you said, the greatest shooter that ever played the game, or one of them. I put it that way. But no, I just can't see that. But I think people, at our last comment, I think people now, like I said, Mike, hitting the 3 or a dunk, that just excites the fans. So Steph, he exciting the fans, you know, like it's nobody's business with those 3s.
It's amazing. It's amazing the distance that he shoots from. I mean, that shot he shot the other night, man. I was like, with the arch on it,
right?
Nothing but twine, you know, nothing but the bottom of the net. He puts you to, and what he do? Put you to sleep. Okay, hey, that's Steph, man. And this goes to what we were having that conversation about LeBron. What these conversations do, they prevent us from embracing and loving everything that these athletes do, because I have to compare him now. See, I just can't look at Steph and what we've been talking about and how great Steph is, and he's a great shooter, changed the game, got great handle. I was hearing that people were saying, they were saying, well, he you know, Steph is not the most athletic guy. I think Steph is very skilled, very athletic, very. And they said, well, you know, he's not the fastest, but he's quick. Like Steph got some skills, man, that people don't respect. His ball handling skills is crazy.
Right.
Okay, like his man, his step back, his maneuvering, his energy. See, that's one of the greatest things, Steph, because he's always moving, coming off screens. And you know, once you get tired, it's hard to shoot the ball. Not for Steph. Nah, man, Steph be like, he need to do a marathon or something, man. I'm like, this dude don't never stop. However, that's how I can enjoy Steph. But when you say to me, man, what you think, Steph the GOAT? Oh man, see, here we go again. Here we go again. Like, okay, tell me a time where Michael Jeffrey Jordan shrunk. Tell me a time where Michael did not step up to the plate. Tell me a time where Michael did not dominate. Tell me a time. Even when he wasn't winning, Mike was dominating.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to say, man. Like 6, man, 2 3-peats. Okay. 6 MVPs in the finals.
No game
Right?
7.
No game 7. Okay. Playing with the flu, killing them with 40. Okay. Man, man, how many game winners, man? All defensive team, all defense player of the year. Like, people, please stop.
Stop.
Shaq, stop. I understand you like Steph. Steph is a great player. But are we serious now? Shaq is even going to say, well, he thinks Steph was a better player than him. Shaq, stop it.
Right.
Shaq.
I'm surprised he even said that. But Mike, you got to look at this. I think a lot of times they just say something to generate conversation. You know,
it's a terrible conversation.
It is. But the thing about it is that, in this game now, we always want to, we talk about eras, and we want to compare today's players to maybe when Jordan was playing. The big thing was, could the Bulls beat Golden State Warriors in the finals matchup or something like that? It's just all. It's, to me, is as I call it, barbershop talk. But everybody. You said something a couple of weeks ago. Me and you, we love our teams, but this generation love their players.
Yep, that's what it is, bro.
So everybody has a favorite player, but Steph is real popular, which he should be. I mean, from what I can tell, stand-up guy. Hasn't really caused any, let's just say, issues while he's been playing in the NBA.
Exactly.
If reporters said, who's your number one guy to talk to as far as after the game, Steph would be, probably in that top 5.
He class act.
Right.
He class act.
So, and he can shoot it. Like I said, 3-pointers make the crowd go crazy and get you back into the game.
Yes.
So,
yes. But no, stop it. It's a ridiculous conversation, and Steph himself should say it's a ridiculous conversation, and that's for multiple reasons, man. To me, Steph has been a great ambassador of the game. And the only place he probably better than Mike is on that golf course. Okay, let's keep it real. I don't know though.
Mike.
You know more about me. The GOAT Mike got him on that too. But man, listen, I find today, Ken, that a lot of these pundits, these commentators, they're prisoners of the moment. Like the Clippers now have won 8 straight. Now the Clippers are they're the greatest. They're unbeaten. You see, but a couple weeks ago you were saying that it never worked. Right. These are prisoners of the moment, man, and that's what I think I dislike about the commentary, because if we were true to, I think a balanced analysis, we wouldn't get into these crazy conversations. Okay, let me say this: is Steph Curry better than Magic Johnson?
No, not in my no. Mm.
Okay. So he not even the best at his position, but he the GOAT. So why are we even having this conversation? Because we not even having conversation about Magic being the GOAT, right?
Right.
And so it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. And then these guys be running around here using this term like this guy can be considered for the GOAT. And also, I think it diminishes Steph's greatness, because now you're comparing him to somebody that is just a much better, complete, impactful player. It's like comparing, like there is no Steph Curry without the GOAT, right? I mean, like Mike changed the game. Mike made the game international. Mike because of social media, now you have all this attention. But before that, it was people like Magic, Bird, Mike that expanded the game. So what I'm trying to say to you is these guys looked up. Steph looked up to these other cats, man. And to turn around and say all of a sudden, LeBron wearing what number?
Stop.
Okay, he wearing the 2-3. He ran that because that's his idol.
Right.
But yet and still we want to say the student has become greater than the master. No. Class is still in session. You see the last dance, baby?
But the thing about it, Mike, is that, like I said, is that, they just want to have, let's just call it banter, go back and forth and things like that on these shows. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I just think a lot of times they just saying something to be saying something. So
that's what it sounds like. We used to say back in the day, talking out the side of his neck. And,
right.
That's probably what's happening here, right?
Right.
Cameo, by the way, folks. You can look it up. Me and Ken riding in the 77 Regal now. I ain't going to tell too much. Hey, Ken, in closing, though, man, I want to talk just a little bit about this. The Lakers won the in-season tournament, but they've went 1 for 5. And I
lost last night.
And I believe Indiana was 0 for 4. And I don't think they won yet. So do you think this is like all the energy and all of the excitement and press toward trying to win an in-season tournament, and now it's like they just can't get that motivation back because they place everything into that? Or do you just think I'm going to say one thing that I think is taking place is simply, as we talked about at the start of the season, once we start to get to 25, 30 games, that's when teams really start separating themselves. That's when the young players start to feel that, yeah, I'm already past the college season, right? They start feeling that pain, right? Right, and them aches and pains start setting in. So what do you think? What is your thoughts behind that?
I mean, I think on the Lakers side, I think they really want to win this championship for LeBron. I think he really wanted,
he did.
First in season tournament.
Absolutely.
A $500,000. I'll take. I mean, like I said, I'll take that any day. But I think they were really, let's just say, the incentives as far as the money was concerned, and I think that LA is coming back down to reality as far as their play is concerned. They have not shot well in those games at the last 5 games, last 5 games. Indiana, when they lost to Milwaukee, it seemed look like it took some of the steam out of them. I mean, I know they were kind of like the surprise team or the new team,
Sacramento of this year.
Right, exactly. But when they lost to Milwaukee in a little skirmish about the ball, that took some steam out of Indiana. So
they got pumped.
Young. Yeah.
That's what happened to them.
Yeah. Giannis went to work on them. Man.
Come on, man. Right.
But they young. They're not gonna. Let's put it this: their attitude is we ain't gonna back down from nobody. But they got beat down that night.
Oh,
so they're struggling too, and I think that, let's just say that atmosphere of the end season tournament was it was good, but now you get that drop off. So
it's going to be real interesting, Ken, to see as the tournament moves forward, will this be a regular occurrence on teams? Because then you will find out that the in-season tournament is having a negative effect. If you're seeing the teams that are winning it are falling into this lull, I'm curious to see whether or when LA recovers, if they can. The Pacers, whether they recover as they can. If we find that they can't, what we were expecting for Indiana is to be a quality playoff team, if they keep falling and falling, then you have to sit back and go, does that really work in the association? Like players focusing on that and making that such a, such a great thing. What do they have left for the rest of the season after they've won that? Like, it's like, Ken, it's like this. We sit down and you feed me, man, and I'm full. Okay, you bring out some more food. I don't want nothing because I'm good,
Right.
right? I'm good for a while. Well, is that what's happening? That satisfaction of winning and hoisting. And again, bro, man, I'm against the banner thing. I'm against the banner thing. Come on, man. LA, you put up championship banners.
Championships, right. Yeah.
Come on, man. That's a tradition there, man. You look, man, when I saw that, man, I understand the trophy. I understand even the presentation. But I'm saying, man, don't do only banners supposed to be raised. Man, even those divisional banners don't mean nothing to them players, man. Oh, you
They
won
want
Eastern Conference division. They want that
chips.
championship. Come on.
Yeah, right.
That's it, man. That's why they play so hard. So to me, I just felt like, man, the banner thing was it looked kind of trifling, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't worth their time to raise that in. They used to call it the Staples Center, so I don't know what they call it.
I think it's the Crypto Center right now. Something,
but yeah,
yeah.
But we'll see. I think I think both teams will regroup and come out swinging, especially Indiana more than the Lakers. When I say that, because I know the Lakers they on the road. They was on the road last night in Chicago, so bad loss really against Chicago. But
terrible, Ken. Terrible, Ken. It's like, and Anthony Davis rolled his ankle again. He played through it, but I just think, man, and you look at, he just came down on somebody. It's just part of the game,
Right.
But man, I saw Wemby roll his ankle, man, and he was like, I'm all right. He just watch that clip, man. So because he's got some really unique stretching exercises for being as tall as he is. And one of those is they really work his ankles and this and that. And he rolled it good. And he got up, like he said, I'm all right. He ran down court. I was like, wow, really? They might want to get with Victor and figure out what's Victor doing. I was disappointed he sat out that game and didn't take that whooping. Okay. I was disappointed. You might as well come. Giannis gonna get you, dog. You might as well just come. Giannis gonna get you.
Was that the game? The game before he rolled his ankle?
I think no. I think he rolled it afterwards.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just, man, it was interesting, man. I was like, wow, really? So he does a lot of, man. His routine is ridiculous, man. And when I saw that, I felt like really encouraged. Because we know how 7-footers and their foot problems take them out the league, man. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe this young cat then figured out something, man. I want to see him blossom into his full potential. Yeah, well, folks, a great show. We got some Christmas games coming up. We got some games happening tonight. It's gonna be they say the NBA don't start until Christmas. That's what they say. So we gonna see what's maybe to separate the men from the boys or the women from the girls. That's what's gonna happen here coming up, Ken.
I say don't start until after the All-Star break, but that's just me.
No doubt. That's when it get real serious, folks. But the world of sports unites us. Let us take this unity in our everyday life. This is why they play the game.